Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're in. Episode numero 2. Willy B.
Hello.
Oh, I mean, we were talking about the distance from the mic. You don't have to shout at it.
Hi.
Davey G.
Hello.
Hello. How are we? How have your lives changed since the first episode of the Fwends Podcast, Will?
Very much so.
Oh, I'm going to turn you down because all of a sudden you're shouting like an excited
Hello.
puppy.
Hi. Hello.
I think Will's been drinking since the last episode.
Yeah,
solidly.
thanks for making my
Only
edit.
San Pellegrino. San Pellegrino available in all good shops.
Thanks for joining us, Will, as well. I know you just got off of a plane.
I have.
Jet setting, a lifestyle.
Why were you late, Will?
I just got off a plane.
Yeah, but why were you late? Was there customs issues?
There might have been.
Well, where are you going with this, Dave?
Did you have any non-natural fruits that you were trying to bring back in the country, perhaps?
Mangosteen.
Okay. Why did they pull you out of a crowd? Because
Basically because I think I would fit the demographic of someone who would potentially be harmful to others on an aircraft. Get that in you. Get that in your
I'm so glad that we've got cameras with this on as well.
Yeah.
Because now, people, you should have grown your beard a little bit longer.
Oh.
Dave, how are you?
Yeah, great. Splendid. Yeah, I'm happy.
What's going
on? Not a lot, mate, to be honest with you.
What's going on in the world of credit risk?
You don't want to know
insurance?
the world of credit risk, mate.
It's been a tough week. I've been reading.
It has been. Do you want to elaborate on that a bit more?
I just saw one of your LinkedIn posts.
Okay, good. How was the engagement on it?
4 likes, I think.
Yeah.
And 2 comments, both from yourself.
Yeah, no, my dad liked one of them.
Okay.
He did.
Is he called David Gannett as well?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he looks just like me. No, mate, it's been tough. It's been not tough for us. We've been very busy, but the market's tough at the moment.
Tough market.
That's why I said the market's tough.
Tough market. Right. So we're going to put a little structure into this because you were quivering coming in and going out.
Crave structure, mate. Crave structure.
I mean, prepared, not so much.
I'm
Prepared.
more fluid.
You just run with it, right?
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. I do like a little structure. I was told not to give too much structure, but then I didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable. So
I'll be honest, I feel uncomfortable with you two in a little room. So.
lies. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little. We are going to put some actual structure together, and this is how the show's going to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got an actual show. It's turning into like a radio broadcast. So bear with us. We're going to have a quiz. We are going to keep the quiz that we have for Will and his marvellous brain. Then we're going to talk some lies. Dave, how does that part work?
Don't get me started on this.
Come on, you're laying out the rules.
Okay, so the rules are that Will has 3 statements or stories that he will tell both you and I. Mm-hmm. And we have to try and work out via a series of challenging questions for Will.
Forensic questioning.
A forensic analysis. We have to try and work out which one is the lie out of the 3. So, Will, you have to tell the truth.
The whole truth?
On the truth for once.
He is a massive liar.
I'm not a liar.
You do lie a lot.
I just like spinning some yarn, that's all.
Okay.
I like winding you lot up. And John thinks that something in my face...
There's a lot in that face.
Yeah.
Look at the size of it.
It's a good face. It's a very handsome face.
I can't believe there's already been one face joke and it hasn't been labelled at me. Love this.
Got time. We've got time. We're going to try and get this down to 60 minutes as well. So let's see how that goes.
Never going to happen.
So we got to the lies, and then Dave, you've got a rapid Q&A, which I fear you are pointing in my direction.
I am. Yeah, you have to answer every question, and they have to be honest.
Okay.
So no passing.
And then I put out a call to action from all the followers of the Fwends Podcast, and boy, did we get an overwhelming response. So I'll go through those discussion points and questions, and we can all jump in. Let's get to it, shall we? This is the edit jingle. Right, Will.
Hello.
Hi, Will.
Hi.
I got a couple of questions for you. Mm-hmm. They are football based. I hope you're not too disappointed.
Okay, yeah.
But the fans don't really have much else for that.
That's a plane, yeah.
Is it a plane?
Yeah.
Great. Question 1. Answer.
Okay.
1 point for you. Nice. All right. Name the only footballer to play in 4 different decades. Oh, they're challenging.
Will Burn.
It's the Stanley Matthews.
Wrong.
Oh no, okay.
He's getting it wrong there.
Can he have a clue?
Oh no, it's the Japanese fella.
It doesn't look like a Japanese name to me, if I'm honest.
There's the Japanese guy who's been playing since 19, and he's just signed for another club in. I think he was playing in the. He was around in the.
Fluff. All
his
I'm
name
hearing.
is Takuni Yamamoto.
Jari Litmanen.
I played him 4 decades.
Jari Litmanen. Right, number 2.
Wow.
Disappointing start.
Bullshit. Played for Liverpool, scored 9 goals.
I mean, I thought you'd get a Liverpool.
I don't know how many goals he scored. Okay, go on, carry on.
I've seen his tell now for later on.
Yeah,
He just lies.
Who is the only player to have scored a hat-trick in the Premier League, all 3 divisions of the Football League, the League Cup, the FA Cup, and for his country?
Robert Earnshaw.
Oh, will he be straight in?
Boom!
You look a bit like Robert Earnshaw.
I do. For Robert, if you're watching. He's a bit goofy. And
He probably will be watching.
Not the best.
Moving along.
Yeah, okay.
Name
We are
the
keeping
only
this to 60
2
minutes.
football suffixes, in brackets, United, City, etc., that end in the letter T. Name the only 2 football suffixes that end in the letter T.
Maccabi Hatalachlat and I know I don't. End in T.
Are they English
Yes.
teams?
End in T.
Very English, in fact.
How can you be very English?
It's very English, too.
Nice.
I don't know.
No?
No.
You're useless today.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Orient and Forest.
Okay.
Tricky questions
That
from
was,
the crowd.
Yeah, it was good.
Tough.
Yeah, I would have got that if I could be.
I've got a couple more.
Go on, yeah, go
you
on
can
then.
redeem
Go on,
yourself.
go on.
Which World Cup did not have a final? Oh.
Was it the Football World Cup?
Which World Cup did not have a final? I'm going to go with the.
Guessing, 'cause you won't get it.
1954.
What about the one before that?
1948.
No,
Not
what about
1950?
What about the 1950 one, Will? Come on now. No, the one before
Please tell me the next question is maths related, because I think we might have them
Give
here.
me some maths questions.
And that was
What
in
is
Brazil.
4
Oh, was
minus
it?
4?
Yeah.
How?
In
Why didn't
which-
they have a final?
I don't know. I didn't make the question
Next
up.
question. Why did they not have a final?
Well, you see, because
Because they missed out 2
it
years
was
because of
actually
Will's maths.
It was because of the political unrest in the country at the time.
Nice.
What, for the final? Right.
Yeah.
In
I
which
don't know.
In which World Cup final did a team score before the other team had touched the ball?
58.
Will, you're really disappointing me tonight.
Yeah.
So
I just want the world to know that it's not all about football, and if you just throw some general knowledge questions at me,
with Will, generally speaking, you'd think that it was the world revolved. Oh, football, world revolved right there around football.
revolved. Yeah.
It was 1974. Will, Holland won and scored from a penalty before West Germany had kicked the ball. However, West Germany still won the game. Remember that.
Yeah.
Last one, Will. Last one.
Okay, go on then.
Because this is poor now. We were trying to, and now you've.
Yeah.
Which team has won both? Which team has both won and lost a World Cup final by 3 clear goals?
Brazil.
Yes, correct. Redeemed.
Sort of.
Right at the
It's a
end.
bit disappointing.
Can I just throw one last football related question in for Will?
Yeah, go on.
Will, name the meat that you were once going to make a statue out of.
Doner kebab, lamb, loosely lamb-based meat, and it was going to be of the beautiful Bobby Fletcher.
And why was this?
Because we were playing a game in St Albans, and I was
Local
sent
joke.
down the wing. Actually, he might have been one of our fans, but I can't say his name because John blacked it out on the social media thing. Barney, and he put a long ball out to the wing. I put in what was probably one of the best crosses because I generally never passed anyway. Put a wonderful cross in, and Bobby volleyed it into the top corner from the edge of the area. And we were on our way back from Liverpool, I think, speaking to a drunk Bobby Fletcher, and he said that he wanted to make a statue out of that from Doner meat or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice.
Yes, that's it.
glad we were all letting on that one. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Cool story, bro.
So we have the lies. That's passed. Didn't really peak much, did it? That quiz bit. We got to get.
No, I don't feel like I needed to put the effort in for that because there's more to me than just football.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next time we'll switch it up.
Yeah, switch it up. Yeah.
You have to give me a couple of subjects just so I don't.
Anything.
Okay. What are the 3 core components of an IED?
That would. I can't divulge that information on camera.
Okay. Fair enough. Jesus Christ. Come on. These are the questions that he knows.
Dear, oh dear. All right, well, so it is time now to lie.
Okay.
With some truths as well, though. So you got to give us 3. Dave, take it away because you have the rules for this.
Yeah. So Will, I'll take the 3 statements from you first and just make
this
just
is
make
a really
note
fun
of them.
game, by the way. Dave used to do this when he was training people in sales.
Let's talk about sales training.
Let's talk sales training, Dave. Open questions and funneling.
Just waiting for Phil Schofield to open the door and bum you both. Right, Will. 3 statements, please.
If you're listening, Phil, be my guest. Go on. Yeah.
So can I take 3 separate statements or comments from you? So statement 1.
Okay, statement 1 is it's a fact.
Okay.
What are you typing?
Why are you
I need
typing?
to remember them.
No, you can remember it. It's on camera.
That doesn't make sense, but
And
carry on.
the fact that it is if you took every potato in the world and applied the required amount of milk and butter and made it into mashed potato, it would be the height of Mount Everest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So number 1 is potato and Everest.
Yep.
Okay, I'll give you a bit of time to think up statement 2 or story 2. This is why I bring a laptop, okay?
You're going to need to check this as well because already I can see where this is going.
Bluetooth
Yes.
was named after Harald Bluetooth.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, like a nickname or his actual
No,
name?
that was his name.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 10th century dude. Rocked about in the 10th century.
10th century. Now
Yeah.
you've... What?
You haven't-
Bluetooth.
Right.
I'll just give you one piece of advice, Will. You don't have to give anything away yet until we start asking
Right,
questions.
okay, yeah, you can ask the questions.
Okay, and one final one. Remember, 2 of these have to be truthful and 1 has to be a lie.
Oh,
Or have you fucked already?
fucked. Go on, yeah, okay, talk to me.
So,
Okay, right, so the last one is if I licked a dog, if I licked a little rupee, I would go into anaphylactic shock.
Rupee being the ferocious Dashan that we have.
Actually, one of the most dangerous dogs.
Highest
Okay.
number of attacks
Correct.
recorded.
Twice I've been bitten, both by one of them. Not by Rupert.
No.
I wouldn't have him put down, but the other 2 little fuckers.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I like Rupert. He's even though I can't really touch him because, yeah. So
people shouldn't really touch dogs. Right, so...
I can't remember how many of those are actually true, but go
Great,
talk
Will.
to me.
Thanks.
Right, let's do it anyway.
Yeah.
So I think, John, probably the best structure for me and you to do this is why don't we ask 1 question each?
Okay.
Maximum of maybe 10 questions on each subject, and then do you want to do it as a team or do you want to do... We both have our own idea.
Let's just
Come
crack
at
on.
me, come at
Okay.
me, yeah.
So do you want to ask first question about the potato and Everest?
When you said potatoes, like, is it all kinds of potatoes? Because I don't like
just Maris Pipers.
just Maris Pipers. I was going to say because I'd be offended by a great deal of sweet potato.
Maris Pipers, the choice, I believe, potato for McDonald's French fries.
Interesting.
Right.
We only need 3 lies and stuff, but you know that, didn't we? I'll keep going.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Because I conducted that experiment not long back, actually. I had a few days and a few quid spare, and I bought every single Maris Piper in Tesco's Watford Express on
The
Watford
world.
High Street. No, but it was just a mini. I calculated how many Tesco's there were in the in the world, and then I did some basic math.
Okay, well, we know your maths is good, so
yeah,
that's...
thanks. Yeah.
okay, fine. John?
I don't need to ask any more questions on this one. I think I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't think I need to approach the bench either. Okay, so I'll go first.
You're going to be so disappointed when you look on Google.
I'll go first. Harald Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Great name.
It's
Great
not bad,
name,
yeah.
by the way. When was he alive?
You can't lie
900s.
about all of the
900s, 10th century.
So just so you know,
yeah.
the statement that you've made, that if that's true and then you lie about everything, you can't, like, the lies, it's got to be consistent. Yeah? No, just say, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's bought into this, so I'm
Right.
happy with that. So about
Good.
the 900s. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's
900s,
that's
10th
when-
century.
Bluetooth.
That's
Yeah.
when Harald Bluetooth was
Yeah.
around. We're not saying that's when Bluetooth was invented.
Yeah.
So, Bluetooth, you're telling me the Bluetooth. When was Bluetooth invented?
I would
Roughly.
have assumed within the last sort of 20 years.
Right.
The crazy thing is, out of all three, the Harald Bluetooth one is probably the most plausible.
Well, yes.
Okay, so did Harald Bluetooth have anything to do with the technology behind Bluetooth? Because surely, right, you would have thought that they'd only nickname.
Well, I think not.
Okay.
No. Because I'm pretty certain they didn't have phones in the 10th century. So I don't think he was directly involved in Bluetooth, if that's what you were asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that?
So you can't work this out. You don't like it.
I hate it.
Yeah.
You don't like it. He's like, I've got Will's tell, but all of a sudden he hasn't. Will's tell.
Yes. Williams Tell.
Yeah.
I don't need to approach the bench on that either.
Okay, I'm going to ask another one.
Yeah.
Was his name Harald Bluetooth, or was it a nickname Bluetooth because
it's
maybe
his
he'd
name.
had too many slush puppies or
What was his
something?
name?
What? In like, when was this? When was he around?
10th century.
The 10th century.
You don't think they had ice and blue shit in the 10th century?
No.
Of course they did.
Really?
Well, they had water and the sea and stuff. Smurfs are probably around. You had blue stuff put in with some ice.
Okay.
Okay, right, last one then.
Cobalt.
Okay, anyway, last one. Statement 3. If Will apparently looked at Rupert, if Will licked John's dog, he would go into anaphylactic shock.
Yeah.
Is there a part of the dog that you would need to lick in order to create this anaphylactic shock?
I'd imagine the nuts.
He has
Wait,
the nuts.
one for you and another for you.
I think anything on the dog, really.
If you licked anything on the dog,
Yeah.
is there a more susceptible
If
area?
I licked his bum, then I might get poo particles on and that could turn me blind potentially. Because yeah.
Fucking hell, I was holding your dog earlier. What don't I know about it, John?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah,
Okay, quick question.
yeah.
How do you know about this? So let me rephrase that. Have you licked a dog before?
Yeah, probably have. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know why I licked a dog, but I think I may have done that.
And did
before.
said dog give you anaphylactic shock, or would it
No.
just be Rupert?
No, that dog didn't give me anaphylactic shock.
Was it a what are they called?
Dog.
Hypoallergenic dog that you had licked before?
Might have been.
I have a question which I think is going to get this for us. Do you like nuts, Will?
I do like nuts. Yes. Yeah.
So I think I have enough information
Okay.
upon which to.
So how many of those are supposed to be lies? Because I don't have a fucking clue.
So
can't
2 were supposed
remember.
to be lies and 1 was supposed to be the truth.
Okay, yeah, all right.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so 2 of them are lies, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so what were the
You're
lies?
asking this now after doing the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. So what do you think the lies were?
The truth is, if you licked
Cut.
Rupert's arse, then you'd go into anaphylactic shock.
Incorrect.
I think that,
I knew you wouldn't get it.
I actually think the potato one's the truth.
Go and get him, let's put it to the test.
I think the
potato
potato
thing.
one's the truth.
No, you're wrong.
Is it Harald Bluetooth?
It's Harald Bluetooth. Harold Bluetooth.
Fuck off.
Check that out. Have you got interweb?
Get
there?
Google him.
No.
Have you got the internet up?
Well, have I got it up?
Yeah.
Oh, I do actually.
I'll spell it out for you. Harald.
Oh, Harald Bluetooth.
Harald
well, that's what
Bluetooth.
threw me off. I spelt it with an O.
Harold. Harald Bluetooth. And I believe he was responsible for unifying the nations of Denmark and Norway. And they then, I don't know, it was about unity, and then they named Bluetooth after him.
The Bluetooth wireless specification design was named after the King Harald, in 1997, and the Bluetooth logo consists of a younger Futhark Bindrun for his initials. Oh, I see, and like the little B. Yes, the Bluetooth thing. It looks. Is this Icelandic or? Excuse me, Danish. Danish.
Wow.
Well done, Will.
Well played, Will.
Right.
Well done, Will.
So can we just chalk that? Will's 1 up at the moment.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Nice.
I'm happy to do it all the time, but I don't think you'd
See, I believe the potato thing. I wasn't entirely sure that you'd done the experiment though.
I don't know. We Google that if I like. I don't know why. Who would have
what
the time?
Google who's done that experiment?
Yeah.
A big picture of you will come up.
Someone,
Who's
I
shitloads of
reckon
potatoes in
someone
there.
has
Who's gone
done that
around the
experiment.
Watford Tesco extras collecting Maris Pipers?
Yeah.
Not many.
No,
Will.
but when this goes out, I imagine they're going to sell out pretty quickly. Fuck me, I've got four massive bags of Maris Pipers and 2 Bluetooth devices. This is sick. Where's that dog?
And whilst I'm allergic to dogs, I don't think licking one would make me.
Are you actually allergic to
I am,
dogs?
yeah.
Well, yeah, but then it's proper like almost. If you lick his butthole, then it could be like a 10x effect.
Yeah.
You do get a little hivey.
I
don't
do get
you?
hivey.
You do get a little hivey.
But I would,
Your
yeah.
tongue gets a little fat, doesn't it? When you.
And lips get a little bulbous. They get a little
I like it
lumpy.
when your lips get bulbous.
This is getting well sexy. I didn't think it was going to go down like this with cameras,
It's
to be
Philip
honest.
Schofield Day.
Well done for coming out though, Phil.
Yeah, well done,
27
Phil.
years.
Oh, fuck that, mate. Don't tell him well done for coming out.
No.
He's
like,
lived the fucking lie for the last God knows how many
Yeah,
years, and
now
people are
he's
saying,
free.
well done for coming out.
Now he's free.
Who's that other non-significant female on Twitter? Jamili or whatever her name
She's
is.
not
She
insignificant.
came out. She's insignificant. She came out as saying she was queer. I think yesterday.
What? Are you allowed to say that term?
Well, that's what she said. Just to be clear, I don't have any
Gay friends.
prejudices. Yeah.
You've just this an editing
Yeah.
nightmare
Yeah.
has just ensued.
Just let it run. Just let it slide.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So now let's move on to Dave's rapid Q&A, which
Love
I fear
this. Don't fear.
could be quite
The only
awful
reason I
for
brought
me.
my laptop, apart from chat roulette in the background. Right, John.
Hello.
Rules are very, very simple. I will ask you a series of questions from 1 to 10. As we go from 1 to 10, they gradually get worse.
Oh, I can't imagine it's going to be like diving off of the top diving board, question 1.
It's something like that. So you need to answer every question. If you have to pass on a question, Will is allowed to put his balls in your mouth. Okay?
I have shaved them.
And we do have 2 cameras.
David got me to shave them last night.
Especially.
Only one of
I'm
them,
not
though.
agreeing to this.
Well, you have to answer the
Yeah.
questions.
Well, let's see how we go.
Okay, John. Start off nice and easy. Favourite food? If you're struggling on this one,
Maris Piper.
okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Do
Um,
like a mashed potato.
It's mashed potatoes.
Favourite
Roast is good as
favourite
well,
sport? Honestly, thought this was going to be quick fire.
Mixed martial arts.
Okay, nice. Favourite holiday destination? Question 3.
Turks. Oh. Australia.
Nice. Who is your bestest friend?
Oh, I can't answer that.
You can.
You have to answer this.
So, go on.
Victoria Gooden.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
That's, lies.
Nice. What advice would you go back and give your younger self?
Don't worry.
Right, if you get asked this in the future, I would say the bit of advice would be don't do that on radio.
Ever again.
Okay?
Well, radio's.
Who sung that song?
Oh.
You'll never get it. You'll
Oh.
never get it.
I won't now. Put
And
me
do you want
under
to
that
know an
pressure.
interesting thing about that song?
Go on then.
There were no instruments used in that song.
Very good. Who was it?
Bobby McFerrin.
No, I wouldn't have got it.
Yeah.
Right. Do
Anyway,
continue.
question.
Factoid
You
over
have
there.
to answer these, okay?
Yep.
Or was it a fact? Yeah, carry
Question 6. BT or ESPN?
ESPN.
Vicky or Elodie?
What about
on. I
them?
love that. I love
Just
that.
Vicky or Elodie?
I love that.
Elodie is a nicer name.
Pink or brown?
Pink.
Would you rather
How
drown
many are we up to?
We're on number 9. Would you rather drown a cat or catapult 4 baby rabbits against the side of an old shipping container?
Oh my god. What?
I'll repeat the question, John.
Why would
You
you
have
even
to
ask
pick.
that
You have
question?
to
And
pick.
bear in
That's
mind,
the
we're
question.
only on number 9. Would you rather drown a cat or catapult 4 baby rabbits against the side of an old shipping container?
When you say drown a cat, like Luca Magnotta did the
Cat killer.
The cat killer.
The cat killer.
How do you remember all of that stuff? Like, I don't remember who it was. How far away am I catapulting these bunnies?
They're a metre away from the
Right,
shipping
okay.
container.
Well, in terms of the reduced loss of life, I'm just going to have to kill the one rabbit and save four.
No, it was a cat.
No.
It's cats. Yes, kill one cat. Sorry. Oh, I'm sweating.
So
over
do
here.
you then feel that the one cat's life is
Worth less
yeah.
somehow than the rabbits.
That's
I
four.
don't like where this is going,
Four
John.
rabbits. You're telling me to kill 4 rabbits. If everything's made equal, that's more murder.
Okay, so what you didn't know, John, was that the baby rabbits were already dead. I just said catapult 4 rabbits. I didn't say kill 4 rabbits. So you've chosen to take the life of an innocent cat.
Murderer.
Paedophile.
You could be a Luca Magnotta.
Right, anyway, finally, question 10. Would you rather have sex with a goat as your mother-in-law watches or crash a plane into an albino orphanage?
I'm not answering that question. This isn't fucking Black Mirror. Not...
This is question 10.
You have to answer the questions.
Trust
you
me,
can ask me any question, I'll answer it.
John, I wanted to go up to 20 and I'm only at 10 here and I've left it at 10. Okay? So
Can you just repeat that question?
I can.
No,
Just to give
I
no, you
can.
have to. That's
You
the
have
game.
to answer
I'm
it.
not. I'll
Cut
take
the
the balls.
should we just stage
your
your
nuts
walk
out.
out?
Get your nuts out.
Yeah.
I'll repeat the question.
I will do that.
Listen,
I will
maybe
put my nuts
people
in your
listening
mouth.
could, play this on a Sunday afternoon and
quite a good
round.
game.
Well, just they could do it, round having a bit of Sunday lunch. Just ask the questions
Just
to
pick
people
it.
in your family.
It's not that hard.
I'll repeat question 10. Would you rather have sex with a goat as your mother-in-law watches, or crash a plane into an albino orphanage?
I'm not answering that question. I'm just not doing.
I'm not sure you're aware of
Well,
the
it's
rules.
bestiality or murder.
Exactly. No, I'm not
One's
having either.
definitely worse than the other.
Yeah, I'm not.
All I said was crash a plane. I didn't say you've got to, go and suck off all the albinos. You've just got to crash the plane.
Wow.
Albinos.
Well, yeah, albino orphanage, isn't it?
Did you say Albanian or
No, albinos.
Albino
Oh, fuck the
orphanage.
Albanians.
Oh
Is
my
there
God.
actually an albino orphanage?
I hope so. If there isn't, someone's going to make one now.
Yeah, yeah.
Just be wary of John flying anywhere near you, because I don't think he wants to fuck a goat.
Not answering this question. Not answering this crazy question.
No, I don't think the quick fire round is going to happen next episode, is it?
Well, not on me.
So
Not like that.
disappointed.
Will would have. Oh, okay, I'll ask it to Will.
Yeah,
Okay, Will. Would you rather have sex with an albino or crash a car into a goat orphanage?
Crash a car into a goat orphanage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
thanks.
There you go. Wasn't hard, was it?
Yeah. Ask me another one.
I'm like, okay.
Oh.
Vicky or Elodie? I know what you want to say. I know exactly what you want to say. Okay. Should we move
Elodie's
on?
a very sweet girl, but it's 100% Vicky.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, so where are we at time wise? Oh, we're only halfway through, so there's room for.
Another quick fire round. We can go 10 to 20 now. Right.
God, I'm feeling hot under here. Yeah, maybe I'm not involved in the quick fire rounds next time. Maybe I can get down with the construction of the questions.
Listen, we can share it around, so you can go.
Yeah.
You can be Will next time, and then
Yeah.
you can construct some questions for me.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. So, I put out to.
I'll put this laptop down now. That was all I wanted.
Done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Happy with yourself?
Really happy.
Yeah, I'm sweating.
Okay.
So I put it out there to the legions of fans about what they wanted to have us discuss maybe some questions as well.
And what did Bobby come back with?
I've got a few back. It was an interesting trawl through my social media, and we got one response on Twitter.
Big response.
And he said something about two Scousers, and I don't think he meant to hit the nail on the head, but I am actually with, I guess, two Scousers, two Liverpool supporters. So, Abs, thanks very much. But it was more interesting on my Instagram.
There's Abs from 5.
Hopefully.
I love that.
I really hope so.
On his farm in Wales now, isn't he?
I'd like to know that he's doing well. So, Abs, if you are listening, just give us a shout. Let us know everything's okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's caring.
And Jay and Richie and all of you guys. We want to know you're doing well.
Yeah.
And maybe Abs would answer that last question as well.
Probably.
Wouldn't. But if he's willing
Tweet
to.
us on Fwends Podcast, #Fwends Podcast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah.
So when you go on Instagram, you have the option of like a Q&A, like questions. Ask me anything. I've got 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, I did try asking you anything. You bitched out, so.
All right.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't have
You'd
asked.
be useless at that, but yeah, go on, carry on.
Okay.
So,
Well,
go
I
on.
was pretty useless at this as well.
Yeah.
Because these are the sorts of responses that I got back. So, hi, John Gooden UK. I'm Bernard. You caught my attention. I'm a music lover and also love tech. Please follow me. So that was the first.
See,
I'm
I'm not really sure how to answer that question.
Is that
No,
Bernard
not so.
Diomed?
Not sure exactly.
Is that Bernard Robson, who went to our school and I sometimes see walking by the Asda Close drop-off point?
Might be.
Okay.
I don't
Well, if it is you, thanks, Bernard.
Yeah, thanks. Next one, Fitness Ninjan. So not ninja. They put an N on the end of there.
Nice.
Sending positive vibes. Have a great day.
Ninja?
Gadalka Tamila. Schwaves. Everyone wave.
Schwaves.
Yeah.
Schwaves.
Schwaves. Hi,
Hi, Jamila.
Yeah.
Fit by someone. Hugs John Gooden UK.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Are
It's
you
what
trying to
need.
make yourself feel better with all of these?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I'm not sure where you're leaving.
Fitness girl, someone. Hey, darling. If you want a shout out, take a screenshot of our page, tag us in your story, and DM us. Done.
Cool, I'm liking this.
Yeah?
Good traction.
Yeah.
Krista, follow me and I'll follow you too.
That's fucking paedophilia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not that young. Neto BJJ, I got a fist bump off of him, UFC fighter.
So glad there was an
that's
extra
really
J on the end of that.
good.
I know the sort of people that follow you.
Yeah. And then someone just said, salute 100. Like,
But 1, 2.
we could be here a while.
Just try and pad the end of the show out for us, that's why.
That could be the way.
Yeah,
We just
nice.
have to sign off with 100 salutes. Healthy in Dubai. Hi. And then they put star. Like, so I guess I'm a star, right?
That's lovely.
Hi, star.
Thanks, Healthy in Dubai.
Yeah.
How hard was it? Oh, I got serious ones now.
Okay.
So we go back through the serious ones?
Yeah.
Okay, serious ones. Where was the first serious one? Brexit effects. Did we talk about that? Nah. We're unaffected.
Yeah.
Moving along.
I have
Oh,
no
God.
opinion on it.
You're
Carry on.
affected,
I am
generally.
affected, yeah.
Will your passport be okay or not?
Yeah.
I'm currently in the process of applying for my Irish passport.
As am I.
Are you?
Yeah. Well, I'd get national Irish citizenship in just like that. Bang.
Well,
Because
so,
of my father's Irishness. Yeah.
well my grandfather's Irishness is allowing me the same.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Why don't you do a podcast about this when I'm not here?
Yeah,
Okay.
Go on. Yeah.
Right, so were you going to weigh in on Brexit?
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, good.
I like this, Will.
Yeah, okay.
My coccyx is killing me.
Your what's it?
My coccyx.
Okay.
You could my chair's all right. It's all right.
I've given you the grand chairs. I'm in the plastic IKEA one over here.
Oh, that'd be better. I
That's
did think
not
you'd
very-
have a little donut that I could sit in.
Yeah.
It is a little bit sore. I'm trying to look around for soft things.
Soft things in the
Oh,
room.
that could work.
The dog's bed.
Yeah. I'll put it on
Nice.
Will's chair.
Will's arse will go into anaphylactic shock.
It
I think it already has, looking at it.
It was.
What else have we got? Sorry. That's a serious one. I'll leave that for a second. What are your favourite vegan meals Will. And what do you do about what do you do about vegan boxing / MMA gear? That's from Archie. Thanks, Archie. Will, what's your favourite vegan meal?
Archie Tebbett.
It's not Archie Tebbett. I don't think he can.
What's my favourite vegan meal is probably vegan lasagna in a lovely little restaurant in Ibiza. And
is that where I took you?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, before taking me somewhere else. It was that was nice as well.
Okay.
Very nice.
What's vegan boxing? You like punch the shit out of a broccoli?
Did he ask me where I get my vegan gear?
Equipment.
No,
I'm not asking you that question.
Vegan gear? Is this some sort of weird...
boxing gear.
Is this a youth drugs thing that they're doing at the moment?
Let's circle back around to that one. What's your favourite vegan meal? I like curries. I like chickpea or dal based curries. Yeah.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Why? I'm interested.
Okay.
Dal based curries. Dal based curries.
No, you know what I mean. I like a lot of lentils and I like men.
Lentil Men.
I'd love that. That sounds like a great film. Lentil Men. Phil Lentilman. He's like a superhero. Mate, this is it. This is our next big thing.
Compassionate.
Not really, no.
Phil
Lentilman. And that's like by day. But at night, he's Lentil Man. So good.
Yeah, very good, very
That's
good.
how Superman started. Did you know that? Genuinely.
What?
His name was Paul Superman. And they said, like, at night, when Superman only comes out at night, apparently, they changed it and they just...
I don't believe you.
No, I'm not as good as Will.
No, you're not as good as Will. My favourite vegan meal, as we sort of hinted earlier, would have to be something alongside the Maris Piper smashed potatoes with a little oat barista milk, possibly some sunflower butter. Smash that together, and I do like a fake chicken nugget at the moment. That's going down the chute nicely, and baked beans.
Baked beans is shit.
What?
I'm sorry, they're not even baked.
You've just described a 3-year-old's meal. What's wrong with you?
Yes.
Chicken nuggets, baked beans, and mashed potato.
Why are they called baked beans?
Oh! I found a new thing.
Okay.
They're like a tempeh barbecue ribs. They're not ribs. They're strips of tempeh loaded with the barbecue sauce that one would find on a rack of some poor rib. Yeah. Really good.
A rack of baby rabbits that have just been catapulted into the side of the thing.
Or a drowned cat.
What is tempeh?
Yeah.
Tempeh. It's a soya bean.
Sounds
fermented
lovely.
soya bean.
Oh,
thing.
fermented as well, just to add to the already great taste of the soya bean. Nice.
Yeah.
I imagine they're tiny tempeh, no?
Oh!
It's a French wrapper.
And what do you do about vegan boxing / MMA gear? Serious question. I think I'll take this one, gents. Thanks.
Why?
I might just.
I'd like to answer that.
Well, what you got?
Oh, give me a minute. I'm just going to see what you say. Just want to see your opinion first.
It's a difficult one. So you end up buying inferior gear because people aren't really that bothered, especially the fighting types. The vegan movement hasn't necessarily moved so widespread into combat sports. But there was a brand called Vehement. Pretty sure it was Vehement out of Germany. But they wound up shop. And funny enough, I was going to talk to Dan Hardy about buying that company out because Dan was after some not like synthetic leather gloves and punch bags and pads and all the rest of it. Vehement went under and they are no more. I never actually got to use... Did I get to use this stuff? No, I don't think I did. So that was sad, and I don't know if anyone's replaced them, but Portugal seems to be the place that is making a lot of synthetic leathers now and doing a good job too.
I'd say hopefully Dan doesn't listen to your business idea because judging the fact that they've already gone out of business, it probably isn't a huge market for it.
Well, you don't know. It could have just been poor marketing. You don't know what the overheads were like. It needed some investigation, but it never got out the traps.
Okay.
Did any of that?
No, I'd largely agree with that, yeah.
Right, good.
Yeah, I think that's a fair summary, Will.
Yeah, thanks.
Right.
Cheers, Ashley. Was it Ashley?
Archie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it,
cheers,
Archie.
Ashley.
You and the quip
Cheers,
about
Ashley.
Tebber, and then you... Right.
Sorry. Yeah.
How hard was it to go vegan, and any tips for recipes?
I'll take this one, John.
Go on then, son.
So I started my vegan journey approximately 3 minutes ago, I think, when I last ate that prawn from my sandwich. And it hasn't been that difficult since then because you didn't provide... excuse me, please stop rustling in the background.
Making noise.
Edit point, stop rustling, John. No, I think you hit the nail on the head with some of your other videos that you've put up recently. And I think a lot of it is about...
Linked above.
Lovely. Linked above. Swipe up. I think a lot of it is about variation and the ease of being able to prepare meals. And I think a lot of people are scared to get into it, but I think actually when you see the amount of quality information that's out there on the internet, particularly,
they've even got a great show on Saturdays now. Two guys are cooking vegan meals.
Who?
I don't know.
Is it Bosch TV by any chance?
No, it's on ITV, I think.
Is it Phil Schofield and Michael Barrymore?
Oh, that'd be very interesting too. Yeah, they were both married and both came out. So
thanks, Will.
Yeah.
So
you
how
in a
hard
WhatsApp
was
group
it
with them or something?
Yeah.
Wasn't that hard, really? Wasn't that hard? Once you've made a decision, it's a mental process, isn't it? It's just a mental process. Any tips for recipes? Instagram, very good. You could buy some.
Watch that show on Saturdays.
Watch that show on ITV on Saturdays with I don't know who. Bosch TV is someone. There's Avant-Garde Vegan. There's Brett Cobley, Epi Vegan. They're people that I know of. You can you can also use the Yumly app and then add certain criteria and that will put things together. But Google, all the rest of it. The Game Changers documentary has its own website, as did Forks Over Knives, I think. The China Study. So much out there. God, so much. You'll be eating for a year just on that alone.
Nice.
Just on that, with a varied diet.
Good answer. Strong.
Yeah.
And what do we got next? This is a serious question from Pete. Pete is a friend of Ross Conium, who is behind 9 for Nora, which was a remarkable charity effort where Ross did nine challenges over the year, raising money and awareness for his beautiful daughter that only made it to, I think, 10 hours. So Pete is part of the Sands group, a football team, who all of those guys have suffered baby or child loss, tragically. And he says... not doing so well here. What did he say? He was asked us to talk about the increase in awareness of men's mental health. And then he bolted onto that, how different sports deal with it. So actually, I think that...
It's a great question, Pete.
So mixed martial arts is a pretty interesting place right now. I've just listened to the Ariel Hawani's podcast. I've listened to Ariel's podcast in the last day. So I think that's from Monday. And 2 people that came onto that podcast were talking about their battles with mental health. So it's becoming pretty open now within our sport of mixed martial arts for people to talk about these things, their struggles, the difficulties. It's quite open. That's what I love about MMA is there aren't so many filters between the media and the individuals themselves. So I think that's pretty powerful, and how they're dealing with it. I think they're putting themselves, they're talking to one another, and they surround themselves with good people who are helping them along the way, supportive, etc., etc. What do you guys think from more mainstream sports angles, and are you seeing that there's an increase in the awareness of men's mental health?
I don't think so. I think they had that little thing a few weeks ago, didn't they? That extra minute.
All the matches, Saturday matches kicked off
1 minute
past.
Yeah.
Which was a mental health. I think that there's a big challenge that awareness is very different to recognition, and I think that's the big issue here. Is that they will recognise that there's a problem, but it's actually what they do about it after that, which seems, I think, from what I know, to be lacking. They'll say, very similar to, some of the, the big campaigners in the Kick It Out, for the racism, Troy Townsend, people like this. The PFA and the FA themselves are very, very good at wearing black armbands, putting T-shirts
the Italian
on.
FA?
maybe not the Italian FA so
rule
much.
them out.
But you know,
No.
they're very good at having banners up and sponsoring things and everything else. But actually, when you speak to the people inside, you know, the Kick It Out Foundation, there's nowhere near enough stuff being done, and a lot of it is, you know, is smoke and mirrors. I think is they want to be seen to be doing something, but are they actually tackling, you know, the root cause? And I think it's probably the same with the mental health stuff.
Well, I'd say that ties in as well. As a man of colour, Will, do you think that those sorts of things affect?
Well, yeah, I it's a strange one because I haven't really had all that much thrown at me in my lifetime, but I know people. I've seen it on football pitches and grassroots. I've seen some pretty disgusting things and heard some disgusting things, but I don't think there isn't enough. I don't think there are enough players who are willing to come out. And Aaron Lennon did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Not so long ago.
Yeah.
And I Stan Collymores had his battles
with Ulrika Johnson.
Yeah. But I mean, he's actually one that's quite open with things. I quite admire him. I think he comes out and speaks about these things. But I mean, I think everyone.
Do you think people are scared? And this is maybe not just about the racism side of things. Do you think people are scared to talk about mental health because there's this stigma of weakness associated with it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it comes back to the homosexuality stuff as well, like how there's such a few, you know, law of averages in squads of 20, 30, you know, I'm talking first team players across, I don't know, 90 odd teams in just the top 3 or 4 divisions. There's going to be a lot more gay players than led to believe.
Have there been many that have come out in the Premier League or top
Thomas
flight?
Thomas Hitzelsberger was pretty much the first mainstream in this era.
Was he still
But
playing?
he wasn't playing it. No, he came out just after he
That's the thing. Isn't
after
that
he left
sad?
Villa, was it?
Huh?
Was it after he left Villa?
Yeah, I
he
think
then
he
went
was
to play abroad.
back in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
I think.
And who was the Welsh rugby star?
Yeah, he's was. I'm sure he did it just after he retired as well. Edwards. What's his name? Forget now. He's HIV positive as well now, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah. But he was very open about that. But he had battles. He had real battles. Just from what I've seen on TV and that. And it's difficult, isn't it? People don't talk enough. I mean, we've lost a friend to it, it's always the ones that you just don't, that you wouldn't assume they'd do anything.
I think the problem is that people, like, particularly of our age, have a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
Everyone's got, skeletons in the closet. Everyone's got shit going on, but people don't realise it because
I haven't got any skeletons in my closet.
I bet you haven't.
Got a lot of shit going on though.
Just got a load of rabbits and a catapult. So I think we just don't talk about it, and I think part of the reason for that is that we're not around each other enough. And I mean that genuinely. We
don't see one another.
We don't. I think if you go back to when you're maybe early 20s and you see the boys every weekend and you play football together and you do this, naturally you've got more opportunity to talk about things like this. Whereas, for example, on Saturday, I had a few of the lads come round and we had a few beers and stuff, and people did get a few things off their chest.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Will was around.
Yeah.
Will was around with that.
Okay.
Cool. No, I said friends.
Right.
So
not Fwends.
not Fwends. I enunciated the R to make sure you weren't invited. No, I think so. To cut a long story short, there isn't enough being done. I don't think. I don't know everything that obviously goes on inside the Premier League. Funny enough, but from a football point of view, I think that there's work to be done. I think from a general, and this leads me on to my big announcement in a minute as well, funnily enough. Nice segue. So I think that more average people, I'm going to say average people, that aren't necessarily in the spotlight should be sharing things. Because when you do realise that it's somebody like you that has an issue about something and they've got through it, or there's something, cosmetically about them they don't like and they changed it, or somebody's, you see a lot of these weight loss journeys and stuff online now, and people putting themselves out there as this fucking giant fat piece of shit, and now they're ripped to shreds, and you think, do you know what, why are you looking at Will?
I wasn't looking at Will like that. I was looking
straight at Will.
Aghast.
That is so. See, this is where mental health starts, John, with you making digs. No, I think that when people normal everyday people are happy to share, and be that on social media is obviously heightened everything to do with mental health. You know, a lot of people from on our last podcast, we spoke a lot about the vanity side when I was talking to you. You know, a lot of that is driven from what you see around you, is what you see online, and you don't know what's real and you don't know what's fake. But people aspire to look a different way, and I think that drives, you know, a lot of people probably to have issues with, you know, with mental health, because they don't look the way they want to do. They don't earn as much money as they want to do. They see people living, you know, their life like Dan Blazarian, and it's just not achievable for most people. So, moving on to my thing. So
we finished talking about this. Huh?
Good question, though, Pete.
Yeah, mate, Pete, this is a great question, mate. Thank you. So, one of my friends recently, who's a few years older than me, he went and he documented the whole process on Instagram stories, feed, and everything else. He went to Turkey to have his hair transplanted, and I was amazed by it all.
What?
What? Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing. I find it hard to take you serious at the best of times.
So and I was already looking into it, and I'd made a few like initial inquiries about things, because I was going bald when I was 7. Literally, there's a picture of me when I lived in Portugal when I was 7, mate, and I'm receding. I look like I should have had a cigarette and driven an old Portuguese taxi. So I've sort of toyed with the idea for a little while, but about 2 years ago, 18 months, 2 years ago, I ended up shaving all my head off, if you remember, and then I had a scalp tattoo.
Yes.
To make it look like
at great expense, from what I heard.
It wasn't a great expense. It was an expense, and that's not because I'm a big time.
I was going to say, from what I
understand, dollars around.
Making it right.
No,
multiple thousands of pounds.
I wouldn't say multiple thousands of pounds. It wasn't 40 quid, but it wasn't 40 grand either. It wasn't cheap, and I actually really liked it. Transpires though that probably the best present that I could get for my wife at Valentine's this year is more hair. So I haven't surprised her with it. She knows I'm doing it, and by the time this podcast goes out, I'll probably already have had it done.
You're going to be you're going to Turkey.
So look,
from here.
So I'll take my hat off. So I've had to grow my hair now, which is even funnier. So I now look like a slightly dark tennis ball. So if anyone could just see, tennis ball. So I
have not seen this beauty for a long time.
Exactly. So I fly to Istanbul on Wednesday evening.
I'll get the podcast out before then.
Okay, well, you're going to spoil my Instagram reveal then, aren't you? I fly out Wednesday, in surgery all day Thursday, and then back to the hotel Thursday night, back in Friday for they do a little wash, and then Saturday morning back in, they give you your first proper hair wash and clean and everything, then back home Saturday afternoon.
So how does it work? So
what they do is, male pattern baldness, which affects shed loads of men, obviously starts at the front of your head.
Right.
If you see even old guys, they've always got a bit of hair around the back and normally at the sides. So that is the part, there you go, just like you. That's the part that isn't prone to male pattern baldness. So what they effectively do is they pull the hairs from the back, which is called your donut area.
Your what area?
Donut area. Not to be confused with donut area.
Or donut area.
Or donut area.
This could be very interesting going to Istanbul.
They come back with loads of doner meat growing out of my forehead. Imagine that, you just pick a piece off every time you're hungry.
I would do that. I would get that chance.
Maybe I actually misspelt on Google, because it is in Turkey. Fuck, imagine that. Donor hair. So what they do is, they pull from your donor area and they take what are called grafts. So each graft can either be a single hair, a double, a triple, or a multiple. They actually physically separate all the individual ones. The follicles. Yeah, each follicle. So they pull each one out, separate them in. And then the plan is they design a hairline on you that will look natural. So I'm not going to come in like Steven Gerrard and have it starting just above my eyebrows. It would never work. Or I don't know, like some sort of flat top on an Afro-Caribbean, mate. It's just not going to work. So they'll design something that we're both happy with and something that's achievable. They'll then implant.
How do you do that though? Because I don't know, a straight line just doesn't work. But then you don't equally don't want to draw a zigzag.
No, I think the whole point is that similar to when I had the tattoo done, there was an element of receding for my age in there. They don't want to give me, the hairline of a 9-year-old Filipino or something, because it's just not going to look right.
But you're not Filipino.
Yeah. I know, that's the only thing. I am 9 though. So that's what they do. So they pull the area from the back, and then they implant them with a special pen.
How do they know how much to take?
So they will make an assessment when you're there about the quality of your donor area, because some people will have a further transplant later on down the line. Maybe if they can't, because they were quite realistic with me, and they said you've had an advanced level of hair loss, which I sort of knew that I'd had anyway, and they said they could probably
Was
cover...
this done over Skype?
No, it was done over WhatsApp, so I had to send a load of pictures over. So you know it's legit, right? Because it's on WhatsApp. So...
Although we use WhatsApp, and apparently, excuse me, all football deals now get done like at the top level on WhatsApp.
There you go.
I don't know if I'd trust my follicles on WhatsApp.
Well, the doctor isn't doing the surgery via WhatsApp. I hold my phone on my head and wait for messages to come through.
So what are they do? They're going to literally take all your hair off and then...
So what they do is they'll take a load from the back, maybe 3,500, 4,000 grafts, depending on how many it is, and then what they do is...
So that's just like a strip though, right?
No, they don't do strips. So there's two different methods. One is FUT, which is the old strip method, which probably was around 10, 15 years ago. It's still there now, but the more recent and I guess from a technology point of view, definitely I'd say the better one at the moment is called FUE. So FUE is where they do individual extractions rather than taking a whole strip off. So in the back of your head you'll have loads of tiny little dots where they can remove each individual thing. Hence you're in surgery sometimes for 7 or 8 hours. So they take them all off, separate them all out. You go and have a bit of lunch in the little canteen area next door. You go back in, you lie down, and then what they do is they've already marked out in pen the areas that they're going to implant the new hairs into. So then they will implant all of them, and then they effectively wrap your head up, send you off. You have to, for about the first week, you have to sleep at a 45-degree angle, and you're supposed to have one of those neck pillows on, so that you don't...
Neck pillow wanker.
Excuse me? That's probably all I'll be doing in Turkey, to be honest with you, in the bath. So that you do that, and then you're back in. So I'm there for 3 days, so it's...
Do you think they're in cahoots with Dixon's at Heathrow to sell a whole load of neck pillows?
Cheap they're about £20.
Mate,
so
a good quality neck pillow.
Yeah, I like the ones that you can actually connect.
Clip.
Yeah,
so my wife got me a top quality one for Christmas.
Yeah. Has it got a
memory
flat,
foam?
Yeah. Is it flat back though?
No.
Oh, you see, I don't like because
I like the flat back.
You have to have the flat back,
yeah.
Otherwise you end up like this.
So I think you're not supposed to have those because then the back of your head will heal less quickly. Because there's more. Because if I sit up like that and then the back of my head is now pressing against the back of the bed, it can have an adverse effect. So anyway, my point being to wrap this all up in...
I'm genuinely interested.
Okay, you're probably the only one. Everyone else is probably switched off.
No.
He's interested. He's got to have one.
He's got to have one soon.
Exactly.
So what happens is that the hair that's come from the back of your head...
So they take like random... They don't focus on an area.
Well, they will. They have a magnifying glass that will pick out... I guess they'll pick out the best areas. They take all these hairs, you go back in, and then
lay them all out.
Transplant them all into the front. That will never fall out again.
Will these... Will the hairs at the back of your head grow?
Yeah, your donor area will recover pretty quickly.
So do they have to shave your head?
They can. There are certain clinics that will do it with the no shave option, but you just look fucking ridiculous.
What do you mean?
Well, because if you imagine that you've got some hair, and then at the front you've just got a big fucking scar with loads.
So
of dots.
I don't need to do the front. Drastically.
You will do one day.
Well, maybe.
In the next.
But the sunroof.
I can see the
sunroof needs some attention.
Yeah, I thought there was a spotlight.
No, you've got to go whole hog.
So can they work around?
Isn't that what Rooney did? Because Rooney,
my current sunroof, and just like plug them in.
Yeah. So interestingly, they said to me that they could probably do. And this is why I quite like these guys. I know someone that's been there as well. And funny enough, at Callum Best has been there, and they said to me they could probably get about 50 to 60% coverage from the front back. They said we're assuming you'd probably want more dentity at the front and actually have a hairline.
What's this thing about them falling out after 3 months as well?
Yeah, so you go through a period called shedding. So what happens is sounds like something Schofield's doing at the moment.
Yeah, I've been going through that period for many a year.
So what happens is that the follicles are obviously replaced, all the grafts go in. It can happen as soon as 3 or 4 weeks later on. What actually happens is that the new hairs basically grow a bit and then all fall out. And then what happens is from there, that is your true growth, which can take 9, 12, 18 months for you to see the final result.
I wanted to ask you this a bit earlier. So you go through the whole... you start off the operation.
Well, did you know
could be
this
8 hours. 8 hours. Well, no, you kind of mentioned it last week.
Yeah.
Did he?
So yeah.
No, this is when all my mates were around.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
So yeah, you mentioned that you're there for. You can be there for 8 hours.
Potentially, maybe even 9.
And do they knock you out or?
Yeah, they give you a series of so they do packages. It's brilliant. They do packages. They can include hotels and all of this stuff. And it is a massive industry.
Yeah,
so
it's huge.
The Turkish cosmetic industry is huge. The reason it's a lot cheaper is that the cost of everything over there is cheaper. A lot of people study in either London or Europe and then go to work in Turkey because they're so busy. They've got a whole industry set up just for it. Some of these hotels are
Which part of Turkey?
Some just back alleys, underneath old clubs. You know, there's one that's inside a river.
Geographically?
Istanbul. A lot of it is in Istanbul.
Right.
So yeah. Sorry, Will. Going back to your point. Yeah, it's potentially a 9-hour thing. So they.
What's on the lunch menu?
Mate, do you know what? I tried to Google it and it didn't show.
Got a bit of kebabs.
Crisps.
That's amazing.
Can you imagine if something that gave you diarrhea and you were face down and there was nothing you could do?
Yeah.
It's the sort of thing that would happen to me actually.
Bit like magma.
Like, do you feel alright? Yeah. Save my hair. Don't worry about my trousers.
And it's all done in a day. Or?
It's all done in a day. I think actually that's the easy part. The easy part is just going and lying down. I'll have some headphones in. I'll probably listen to the Fwends podcast whilst I'm there. And all they do is they just do their shit. I've paid a little bit extra to have the actual proper doctor do They've got very skilled technicians. So they're all qualified and everything. But you've got the guy that's.
How much extra is it?
Not a lot extra.
Right.
An
So
extra 20% or something.
this is like our friends Dean and Matt saving 80 quid by stopping off in Atlanta for 9 hours on the way to Las Vegas.
Yeah,
I'll give you the fucking 80 quid.
Yeah.
For me, it was worth paying a bit more to have an actual qualified doctor.
Yeah, no shit. He's dealing with your head.
You say that though, but having seen a lot of the work that other people have done, and I know somebody that has been there and not had the doctor and seen his results, which were fantastic, by the way. He only had the technicians doing it. So actually, I probably would have done that, but for the sake of paying the extra money, the doctor will do what's called opening the incision. So he will use a very, very sharp implement to open up the different things. And what they do is, the reason he wanted me to grow it a little bit at least, is he can see the natural way that your current hair grows, so that when he cuts and then the implants go in, they're in the same way that your normal hair goes, rather than just
with the fact that you've had
look like Guile from Street Fighter.
you know you've had this tattoo thing.
Yes.
Has that affected this?
Yeah, I've had to have. So if you can see the front, I've had to have the front of it lasered. So I had to have 2 laser sessions on the front of my tattoo to make it.
Do you regret the tattoo now?
100%.
Yeah.
But the worst thing is I actually loved the
lasering?
tattoo. I thought it looked really good.
Yeah,
but just
I
no one
remember,
else did.
yeah.
How painful was that lasering?
Mate, the tattoo on my head, the
The
worst fucking pain in the world.
Oh.
It was the worst pain in the world. The guy's like, "You're right." I'm like, "Yeah, this is fine." Literally inside, mate. Oh my god, it felt. I can't explain it. It was the worst pain in the world. It was so horrible.
Because you got a very decent tattoo. I used to show pictures of your tattoo.
Yeah, it's a great tat. It's a good sleeve.
It's a great sleeve. Didn't the artist get like an award for you?
Yeah, I had to go up to Derby to show it off at an awards thing. I think he got best non-colour tattoo at the convention.
Yes, it's very
but no,
good.
mate, it's night and day, mate. That tattooing that off, and bear in mind the second session I had probably lasted about 30 seconds. It was excruciating pain. You can smell it burning. It was very similar to the fart on the microphone at the start of last week's session. The smell and the burn.
Horrendous.
But no, so going full circle to the mental health thing. Thanks for your question again, Pete, which was asked 19 hours ago, and we're still talking about it. One of my good mates actually documented the whole process, and he said, "I didn't realise how much of an effect this would have from a mental health perspective, because loads of people were messaging him. You wouldn't have thought he needed a hair transplant, but when he lifted up the front of his hair, and you could see actually, yeah, he was receding. Oh, compared to me, he's a 12-year-old and I'm a 90-year-old, but he still didn't feel comfortable with it. And he said he'd rather have it done now before it goes too far.
Did he have to shave it all off?
Had to shave it all off. Yeah, had to shave it all off. But he's documented the whole process from flying over
See,
there.
I can't
Does
shave
it
my
have
hair
to be
off.
your hairs that go in your head as well?
Oh.
That's
I believe it does, yeah, for them to take properly and
So you
everything.
could just have like
really
9
long
different
ginger
blokes.
hair at the front.
9 different blokes. How good would that be?
Yeah, the rest of my hair is jet black, but I've got the best ginger quiff, and I don't need to dye.
Ginger blonde.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so
I have
good.
Alexi Lalas at the front.
Afro in the middle. That would be amazing.
And a Mark Draper at the sides.
Like the equivalent of a skunk.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah. So look, I think I'm going to do the same. Okay. I'm absolutely 100% comfortable with it and telling people about it.
Ballpark money for this sort of procedure? All in? You reckon?
It's not cheap, mate. You can get
change out of $5,000.
You can get them.
Is it more expensive than 5,000?
You can get them starting in Turkey from about £1,200, and over here you could quite easily pay 15 to 20 grand. So it's in that range between those two numbers.
That's a long way. So $5,000.
I don't need to tell people how much it was.
All right. When we turn will you be more comfortable when we turn the cameras off? How much it would be?
No, because the audio will still be rolling.
So
look, I think it is hopefully going to be money well spent. It is something that's
good luck, mate.
Been an issue.
Good luck.
For you.
But I'm going to document the whole thing on my Instagram at @FDelaRosso.
And your MySpace?
My MySpace and Bebo accounts are both now active again. And if you want to hit me up on MSN,
So MySpace still gets 50 million hits a year. People still go on MySpace.
is it still there?
That's our friend Ricky was working for MySpace recently. They tried to do a whole new, I say recently, probably in the last 5 years. He's doing an overhaul. So I do wonder what's still lurking under the John Gooden profile.
I remember some
on
Adam
MySpace.
Lalana quite cringy photos.
What, MySpace?
Yeah.
Why do you follow Adam Milana on MySpace? You weird.
That was when he signed for Liverpool and they just released his pictures.
Brilliant. Well, my boss actually said when I joined my old company that
they stalked it.
That they Googled me and he said there was a slightly unnerving picture of you in the bath. And I remember the picture. It wasn't unnerving. It was just me in the bath. I remember the picture with a few candles.
Had it on my wall for a while.
And I think it was after a cup final that we just won. But you have to be careful with some of that stuff. And because I don't know what.
Yeah. What do you mean you have to be careful with all that stuff? And think of the craziness that you guys have been throwing down these microphones.
Yeah. That's alright though.
Oh, is it?
It's fine.
It's fine. It's just my name attached to it as well.
You can edit that out though.
To be
now
fair,
we've got video as well. It's really easy. Yeah.
We're offending everyone equally. So we did
just
that.
looking to see if there's anything else. My last piece of news, and it's sort of related as well.
You're having a hair transplant, aren't you?
Along with Putters and Ross, we're doing a 24-hour endurance race.
Now that sounds brilliant.
In July.
Why?
How does that work then?
You run for 24 hours as a relay team.
So just 8 hours each?
Well,
that sounds easy.
Yeah, probably not 8 hours each. So
I think the equivalent
for
eat for 24 hours. Just eat for 24 hours.
8 kebabs each.
Yeah.
Just take them from the front of my head when I get back.
I don't know how we're going to do it because we haven't all decided. I would want to get on the course and just go until I drop, right?
Okay.
But then Kev was like, no fucking way. I think he wants to just do a lap and then stop. I don't want to be stopping because this old frame would seize up.
So hold on a minute.
You're getting older.
Do you have to continuously run for 24 hours between the three of you? Is that like the rules?
Four.
I thought it was 6 hours. I thought you said you said it was you, Kevin Ross.
Oh, and someone else.
Oh, God, just throw that in extra.
Yeah, that would be why. Yeah.
Right. So is it continuous motion?
For all of us. Between us.
Yeah, so if you start running and then you stop, someone else has to run quickly.
No, they won't see me. So you've got to lap back round. So I don't think it's that stringent. You haven't got like marshals on there. You're out.
Right. It's fucking sounds shit. So someone could do a lap.
It's
and
a
you could just sit
5 mile.
there.
It's a 5 mile lap.
You sure it's 5 miles? Because you only said it 3
times.
times.
It's a 5 mile. It's a 5 mile lap.
Right. Oh, okay. Fine. So that is going to take how long? About 28 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. What?
So you'll be running for what? So call it 45 minutes.
Let's say an hour.
Okay, 12-minute miles.
We go for an hour on those laps.
Okay. So you do 5 miles, and does everyone you'll just sit there talking?
Yeah.
Like, fucking hell, John's taking well long. He's
Yeah.
probably wanking in the bushes like he used to.
What do you do in between? Because you're there for 24 hours.
Yeah.
So when you finish, you go home?
No.
So you do an hour.
But how? They're going to be off like 2 miles up the road.
I'm really
They're going to
confused
support
about how
them
this
from
works.
2 miles
Yeah,
up the
so
road.
am I.
So what is there like? So there's a 5 mile course.
Yes.
Do you all go at the same time?
No.
Right. So you go and do an hour, and they're all watching Stranger
Waiting.
Things or something together.
Yeah. Which
And
is
then-
what I. That's why
So
I
then
want
you stop, and then one of them's like, "Oh God, I can't go now. I've still got half my burger left." And then you just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems
It'd be
really
better
odd.
on a track, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it seems like there could be a more efficient way of doing this.
How are you going to support? What are you going to do? You just
Seems like a lot of sitting around.
yeah.
There will be a lot of
in
singing.
Leeds.
That's
as
why
well.
I'll have to see how they want to do it, but I would prefer
I think you should get out now.
I want to just go for it.
I'll try and do 6 hours.
Well, yeah, do that. Go out there, smash that.
You'll get bored sitting around.
Oh yeah, I'll be sleeping or something.
I could do you another series of questions to think about whilst you're there.
Yeah, nice.
The top 100.
Well, here's the next thing. We're going to be doing the Fwends podcast live from the Leeds.
Nice. But I've plenty of time to do it, by the sounds of things.
Yeah.
Should we do a 24-hour podcast?
No. No one's going to listen to
If you let me talk about hair transplants, it will basically be 24 hours.
Yeah. we have actually bled over our allocated
It's always
time.
me. It's either fucking neighbours or my
Which
hair.
I didn't hear about. I cut that out.
No, I'm not. Yeah, the two most boring things we'll cut out. Well, mate, good on you. I know we've both poo-pooed it, but you know, if either of us could run for 6 hours,
if work comes up, however, I might have
out.
I might have to
got a job. Quick rewire in Radlet, go.
But yeah, I've started my training already. Although I've just also been referred for hip surgery on both sides, and
mate, genuinely, go to Turkey. You'll be in and out in a day. What they do is they take one hip and they stick it on the other,
right?
And then you're out, mate.
Cool. So yeah, I want to get a few things done before everything falls apart. Before I have like artificial bits stuck on my body. So yeah, we're gonna give this a little go.
Imagine if they took me in and instead of if they did knock me out and I come out with two massive, lovely two pairs of boobs, and great teeth.
That'd be amazing.
I wouldn't mind, mate. For the money, that would be worth it.
Yeah.
I'd tell you how much it was after that, because you'd be like, "That's a fucking deal, mate. You've got 4 boobs and great teeth."
4 boobs?
Yeah, I said 2 pairs. If you're gonna get it done, go proper. You're in Turkey, mate. It's half the cost, so you might as well. They could call me Davey Fortips.
If someone offered you, like, I'm going to say only because you haven't got the TV presence, but if someone said to you, John, I'm going to give you £1 million, but you've got to get some fake tits, would you do it?
No.
£1 million? You're a liar.
No, I'm not. Why?
£5 million. Would you do it?
We're nearly hitting the number.
Because I think you'd look ridiculously hot with the bow tie and some big fake knockers.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be a need for me to be wearing the bow tie if I was to.
Elodie would
the bow tie is currently his point of difference. However, I'm pretty sure a man with breasts might eclipse that.
Elodie would think you're very strange. I think Vicki would come to terms with it over time.
Over time, she's getting it.
£5 million though. Well, no, we didn't decide. Would £5 million, is that enough?
No.
I'd get it done. I mean, I've practically got it at the moment. But like £5 million?
No, thanks.
Why?
Okay. Let me flip this around. It's £5 million, but you're allowed to put them somewhere else on your body other than your chest.
Mate,
like on your calves.
What, nipples?
I'd like them on my shoulders.
Shoulder. Fucking hell, someone's been doing shrugs. Will's got 2 giant boobs on his shoulders.
Yeah, what cup? What cup as well?
F.
Wow.
No, you
play F.
You were allowed to put them somewhere else on your body.
No.
Knees? Would you put them on your knees?
If you have boob knees. Oh look, there's old $5 million man boob knees. They'll call you.
It's got
Johnny boob knees.
It's just got permanent bursitis. That's what it is.
Nothing wrong with that.
What's with the nipple?
What about behind your knee?
You wouldn't be able to bend them.
Every time you bend your legs, you'd be firing milk at people.
I know.
Well, all of a sudden,
Oh,
we're lactating as well.
From the back of your legs.
We're not giving you £5 million for normal boobs, alright?
What about on your feet? On your feet? Or on your buttocks?
Like, this is what I was thinking. You could hide them in your buttocks.
£10 million, John.
£5 million per boob.
Can I get them taken out? How long do I have to have them for?
No, you can get them taken out when you're dead, yeah.
Oh, no.
£10 million. That's a lot of money.
I think I can see him smiling now.
Yeah.
He's thinking about what to spend the money on rather than where am I going to hide the boobs.
You're nearly hitting my number.
Like this. Yeah. It's probably well.
So just a bit higher, 12 million.
I think that's the number.
You're going to walk around. Oh, it'd be awful.
It'd be £12 million.
It'd be awful.
Someone would be like, look at you, you look ridiculous, and you just turn around and go, I could buy you.
Yeah, make a paper airplane for
12 million quid.
But
you'd make that again in Hello and OK magazine, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, so you could protect double money.
You've doubled down on that.
Yeah.
Double down on the double Fs.
Yeah, especially as a UFC presenter. Like...
God, mate, it'd be the tits. Mate, do you know you could like just your lower back? That's an area people don't pay a lot of attention to.
Yeah.
You
They're not going to really see that on the camera
nice long
unless you turn around.
A long line hoodie or something to cover them up until you start.
A what hoodie?
Long line.
A long line?
Yeah. Do you know what long line is?
Well, it's a fishing terminology, isn't it?
It is. It is a fishing terminology. A long line is a fashion of this era where you wear. Perfect example for the camera. For the benefits, this is long line. So my hoodie comes down a lot longer. Stop looking at my hair. You know I've got a complex job. It comes down a lot longer than a normal hoodie or.
That is a coat.
Top. Well, it's not. It's just
or an apron.
I think when I ordered it from ASOS in the sale for £2.12
from Kath Kidson.
Yeah, I got free oven gloves. Yeah, so you could cover it up, mate. I think you'd be fine. I think you're being a bit of a pussy not to do that for 12 million. 12
million quid getting some top nuts. What would you call them? If they're not, they'd be like knee nuts, wouldn't they?
It depends where you have them.
Yeah.
What would
boobs.
Yeah.
Toe tits.
Buttock breasts.
Massive shoes.
Buttock breasts.
Whoa.
That is doable.
Yeah. Okay. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Will, thanks for jumping off a plane and getting yourself over here.
Didn't even ask me where I went.
Where'd you go?
Maldives.
Maldives?
Yeah, Maldives.
What? I swear you said Maldives.
I went to a lovely place called Girvan in Scotland.
Thanks for coming, Will. And sure, it's lovely.
Nice.
Dave.
Yes.
The very best of luck to you.
Thank you. And do you know what? I can't wait to come back on here and show off my scars.
What if they fuck it up though?
Mate, I wear a hat every day anyway.
What if that, like, say you're gonna be out
Will.
cold?
No, you're not out cold.
And what happens if they, like, your hairline's down here and like?
Yeah, but Will.
I think Davey G's a beautiful man.
No, I'm not out cold. You're just sedated.
Even worse.
Oh, so you basically.
So you can
like,
see him doing
I've
it
seen
wrong.
people's doing it.
I've seen film like Hostel, like.
I imagine it will be just like Hostel. That's why I'm excited about going.
I've had a couple of friends that've had it done. Do you know Jamie? You know Maisie? No?
What's his name?
Jamie May.
Well, you can't be that in out. Okay.
Well,
So
I've said it now.
you have now. He put it out to the
Oh, you
world.
were really hiding his name by saying Jamie. You know Maisie?
Maisie.
It's probably going to be Jamie May or Jamie Mays. So
It could be a few of
does
them.
it look good?
His looks really good. At first, not so good. Look raw. Really.
Oh, well, when you first, mate, if you look
Really,
at the pictures of
really raw.
post-op, people. The other thing you can get, which I'm not sure if it's actually applicable to me because I don't think it could happen, but apparently your face can swell.
What to you?
Oh wow.
Applicable.
Permanently.
Applicable.
Yeah, applicable.
Applicable.
Yeah.
Right.
If you want me to pick you up on all of your mistakes, then I will. So. This is a losing game for you, Jim. Yeah, so apparently you can get severe swelling of your face in the first couple of days.
Sorry,
Maybe I've had a hair transplant already. Still suffering.
Well, all of that aside, swelling and scarring, rawness, may it be easy for you to handle and a success.
Thank you.
And I hope you also enjoy your time in Istanbul.
Thank you. Well, do you know what? You can follow along. So follow along on my Instagram.
Why don't you do it? Stream it live.
Which is
at F Della Rosso. FDELAROSSO.
Definitely get like 2 extra followers.
F Della Rosso.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank
Will,
you, gents.
what's your Instagram?
Don't have one.
There you go.
No, I do, but I'm not divulging it to the public.
Not even I know what it is.
Isn't it at Bargy? BHAJI.
Oh dear.
Well,
Thank you very much for listening. This is dying out very quickly. Adios.
Peace out.